Welcome to Rewriting Real Estate, Millionaire Moves and Modern Tactics with your host, Kimberly Falker, a coach, mentor and strategist for agents who are ready to scale smarter. On this show, you'll learn from high-performing agents who are building their empires with innovation, intention and no apologies. Whether you're an experienced agent stuck at a plateau or a rising star ready to fast-track your success, this podcast gives you the real-world tactics, mindset shifts, and lessons learned from those rewriting the rules.
Hi, and welcome back to Rewriting Real Estate. Today, I am thrilled to bring on Phil Gerdes. He's out of Annapolis, Maryland, which is a beautiful location. He is a top producing agent. He is a head of an amazing team, but he's also the creator of Profitable Persuasion Method, which is a unique workshop that you can learn a ton from. And he has recently launched his coaching program, which is called Shift Immersive Coaching. So I'm super excited to bring him on, and I can't wait for you to learn from Phil. Phil, I'm so excited to have you on here. I have met you in person. I've followed your journey here and there, specifically through the world of Tom Ferry, but I've not followed more recently. So I'm excited to get started. So this podcast is about agents that are crushing it in the real estate world, doing sometimes not so typical things. And so I feel like when I ever first learned of you was in COVID time, and you were just very unique in the video world, but you obviously have elevated and grown. And so I'd love to learn a little bit more about you, your history, et cetera, et cetera. But I'd like to start with, most people don't start in real estate. So who were you before you found real estate, and how did it find you, or you found it?
Jeez Louise. Good question. Thanks for that one. I would argue, like a lot of people in real estate, I was everywhere. Uniquely for me, I started my first company when I was 17 years old. So I've always been some sort of entrepreneur. And I've only worked 1 year as an adult in like a traditional job. I found it wasn't for me, right? But right before I became a real estate agent, I was actually retired. I sold a business when I was 35, and I just checked out.
What kind of business?
I was in direct sales, and I sold my entire company, and I just checked out. I was just done. I was ready to relax. I remember
early to be relaxing.
Yeah, which I have no problem with. I need to tell you. So I actually bought an old Ford F-150, a 76 Ford F-150. And I told my wife, I'm going to just spend my time restoring this truck. And Kim, I did a great job destroying the truck. The restoring part, I just didn't know how to do. About a year and a half into this retirement, my wife comes up to me, true story. And she's like, hey, I want to talk. Hey, what's up? She's like, you're always home. And I said, that's retirement. And then she hits me with, we should get our real estate license. I think that's what I'm going to do. We should do that. Aww. And she hadn't worked for 10 years. And what was funny is she has never sold a house ever.
Really?
It was her ploy to get me out of the house. So she ended up working like the back end for us, and then phasing her way back out to be mom again. But I guess she just felt like I needed this. Yeah, exactly. She felt like I needed the support in order to get back out there and do it and get to work. So it worked.
Well, the thing about real estate, it is so entrepreneurial. A lot of people don't realize, especially in today's day and age, like you really have to have that creative entrepreneur brain to continue to keep scaling or rising to that next level.
Yeah, I think I couldn't agree more. I think that it's unique because with everything that is the world of business today, and the pieces of the puzzle that are so much easier than they used to be, it does lend itself to, wow, you're a business within a business. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think about like my career, and it's like I've shifted the style of how I do my business multiple times with every new market I start in and every new brokerage. And it's interesting. Like that's the fun part, is you can reinvent yourself many times over. And you're obviously becoming a different level, like in the leadership and the growth. And once you got started, were you on your own and then you decided to grow at some point? Or what was that kind of journey?
I'm in Maryland, and I will tell you, when I first started, my whole plan was, hey, I'm going to get my license. I'm going to start a team and we're going to take over. And then a true story, I'm literally at my first meeting with my broker and she's like, yeah, no, in Maryland, you have to be a solo agent for 3 years. So
Really?
you literally have to be either a solo agent or on a team for 3 years before you can start a team.
Which
So
actually makes sense in many ways if you
yeah,
think
yeah.
about it.
So I look and I'm like, wow, my entire plan just changed. So for 3 years, it was me and I was grinding and I was like doing the thing and learning the thing and really just looking to dominate solo. And I did pretty darn well. I found myself in a situation, by the end of my third year, I had sold just around 250
Wow.
units.
That's a lot.
And yeah, and you look, it was me, 250 units, boom, crushing. And then it was time, okay, let's start the team. And I started running from there. And the team part has been fun and the other F, frustrating. So but that's the reality sometimes of team. And I knew that going in. So that part doesn't actually make me upset. It just tells me, okay, let's course correct. Let's fix. Is there a system to apply for that side of things?
So when you were solo, after having come out of retirement, being home a lot, what would your wife and family think all of a sudden, like you're never there? I'm sure doing that many units in a few
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. I was never there. So we have a rule, right? Because always in business, we have a rule like business shifts are family conversations. So even today, it's not like we're doing a whole new business. Like any major shift in business is first a conversation with the family and it's agreed on between all four of us.
That's
Because
nice.
yeah, my idea is my son will be 17 next
Wow.
month and our son will be 17 next month. Our daughter's 14. And the beautiful thing about them is they never asked to be put on earth. So because they never asked to be put on earth, it is completely unfair, in my opinion, for me to force a particular type of hardship or perceived hardship on them. And what I committed to was being dad. So I have to be dad. And if that means that if business means I'm going to be away from being dad, then they have to be okay with it. And
Right.
I won't commit to something that they aren't willing to sacrifice with, because if they don't want me to do it, then they didn't ask to be here. My charge is to be a great dad first, not a great business person first.
I love that.
Yeah.
So going back to your first years when you were away, how did you navigate that time or that process?
And always have lived, especially in business, with a philosophy of where you are, there you are. So when people think about navigating it, if I'm here with you, I'm here with you. That's it. But here's the thing. I went in my family chat before we got started and I said, hey guys, about to start a podcast. I won't be around my phone. I'll be checking in after it's done because I'm here. I'm with you. Now, what does that do? It means if my phone rings, like I'm on D&D right now, but obviously my 2 children and my wife can break through it. If it rings, there's a problem and I need to answer my phone because they know what I'm doing. So they're not calling or texting me for anything that's not an emergency. So that allows me to be guilt-free and be very present. So go back to that first year, like you said, they knew where I was, they knew the things that I was doing, and they let me do it. But here's the catch. I was just coaching one of my coaching clients this morning. Like when I'm home, guess where I am? Home. I've never in my life, Kim, understood how people, and especially in real estate now, almost 10 years that I've been an agent, because I used to own mortgage companies and things, but as an agent, it's crazy to me that an agent will go on a listing appointment and they will never check their phone, never do anything, but they'll be sitting at home with their children and they'll be on their phone doing real estate.
That's a good point. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
Like
great perspective.
what makes the listing appointment more important than the time with your daughter, the time with your son? It's just unfair. So I look at it as where you are, there you are. Be hyper present and never feel guilty, because the last thing you were hyper present with gave you permission to be hyper present with the thing you're doing now. And that gives you permission to be hyper present with the next thing.
And people notice it, but too many of us get caught up in that shiny chase. But what was it in your background that caused you to be that way? Because it's pretty rare, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter the industry, whether you're a doctor, lawyer, anything in between. You see it happening in families across the nation right now, especially.
I think the part of it is just my awareness I don't have a dad, right? So I've got 3 brothers and a freaking amazing mom, but I don't have a dad. So I think the key is I have a great stepdad, by the way. I want to make that clear, but he came later in life. When I was a 16-year-old boy, a 17-year-old boy, when I was 14, what did I want? And being very aware of that, shame on me to know the pain and inflict it on my children. That's just a crazy idea.
That's so good.
So
you did the solo thing for the 3 years, and then you started building the team.
Yep.
What year was that?
The team started in 17, 18, 19, 2020. The team started in 2020.
And then COVID hit.
Yeah. And it speaks to like systems and business and processes. I remember my brokerage was, first they were off, right? A lot of brokerages they turned off and then they slow rolled back in. It took them 6 months to get back.
Oh gosh.
It took us 2 weeks. It took us 2 weeks on our team, because what I did was I shut everything down, but I kept going to the office. No one was allowed to come in, but I kept going. And every day I would update the team. Guys, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. And when it was all done, the 2 weeks was done. We had a meeting and I said, here's our new COVID system, because nothing is done on luck. It's like, if this is the new world we're in, let's build a system to dominate it. And we killed it. We just killed it.
Yeah. When a lot of agents at that time were like retreating, you're going forward. And then that's in many ways, you saw that, at least here in Tampa Bay, like I saw that with restaurants, those that push forward through chaos and the fear, they like crushed on the other side. I think any industry, that was an opportunity that a lot of people didn't take hold of. I know that I was part of the Tom Ferry ecosystem that time, and I think he did a fabulous job of preparing agents in the tough times to move forward versus retreat.
Yeah.
So during that time, during COVID, how many people were on your team?
15 to 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a decent amount to be managing.
Yeah.
In the beginning, when you were growing, how did you find the right kind of agent to join your group?
I didn't.
Or your team? You didn't?
Never recruited an agent. I just was me. Like, I don't think that there's nothing wrong with recruiting agents. I understand it works. I understand the concept and things. And we do some recruiting of agents now. But I think the core of who I'm going to work with are the people that connect with me. So all I have to do is be me, as great as I can be, and let the world see who I am. And that means as great as I can be does not mean without fault. It means let the world see all of it. I teach my agents to journal the journey. And that's part of what I was doing. Like, I was constantly on camera. I was constantly showing what's happening, why it's happening. If there's a need, if there's a mistake, if there's a win, I was sharing all of it. And I was telling stories, and people would come to me. In fact, I've got 2 sales managers now. One of my sales managers came to me through my DMs in Instagram. Hey, I've been watching you. I want to get my real estate license. Are you hiring? I said, come in, boom, interviewed him, came on. Now he's been with us for, goodness, I think ever since our first year ended, he's been with us, and now he's one of our 2 sales managers. It's just, there's probably systems and people you can pay to recruit. Nothing wrong with that. I just think that if we don't jive, if we don't vibe together, then what's the point? Because you're not on my team and a number. I just don't believe in that. I'm not transactional. You're a human, and I want you to be human, and I want to be human. And that means we need to connect. And if we don't connect, then let me sing your praises somewhere else. Right. I don't have to look down on you. I just got to admit that we're not right for each other.
I love that. Yeah. So transferring now to 2 of the reasons that I wanted to talk to you was, one is your coaching program, but also your exactly what to say leadership and program that you have with that, which is very unique. I don't know how you got certified for that. I know I've read the book. I know, but once you read the book, what made you think about, I need to go to the next level with that program, and then put it into something new, and then we'll go into the coaching next?
Yeah. So I didn't read the book. I never even knew. I never knew who Phil Gerdes was. I'd never heard of him before. I was at an event. I was on stage with 2 other people and Phil. And we went through this exercise and blah, blah, blah. And I just took a very aggressive student approach. When it was all said and done, I was back in the green room afterwards and I was talking to Phil and we were chatting. And then he's, man, like I was really impressed with this and that. You should chat with me later. I'm reopening up my certification program. I'd like you to be a part of it. And that was it. And now, dude, he first off, great person, great human, like really wonderful.
I've seen him speak. He seems like he would be.
Oh, he is. And then the kicker to that is this guy's knowledge is through the roof. Talk about someone that knows what they're talking about. He's the one. He is just so hyper aware of how to communicate with humans in the best of ways possible. So I went through
who
this.
He is for those that don't know him.
Yeah. So Phil M. Jones, he, first off, best first name anyone could ever have. So Phil Jones is the author and creator of the book, Exactly What to Say. And he teaches you exactly that, what to say, and understands and lives by the concept of the best time to know what to say is not when you need to say it. And it's funny because that goes so well with my philosophy of if you stay ready, you never have to get ready. So just always stay ahead of it, always stay ready, always be learning and studying and getting better. So I got certified in the EWTS world, and it's been fantastic because yes, there's Phil, but there's also the other certified. There's 55 certified guides, and we're all doing different things. Everyone's not in real estate. Like everyone plays in different worlds. So you get this community of great humans that are all looking to help everyone be a great human. And I love that. So from
what was
there,
the certification process like?
5 days. And I think it was about 9 or 10 hours a day.
Okay. Wow.
It was not for the faint of heart. You were going the whole time and just, you're crushing. It's a full on deep dive into what we're talking about, why we're talking about, what makes it work, why does it work, how does it connect with people. And that goes so well with who I am as a person, because I firmly believe that sales is about one thing, and that is connection. Right? It's not transactional. It's about creating a valuable connection, and value is decided by the client, not by you. And value is not money. Yeah, that process, it's a week-long process, and then you go through, you're certified, and then you build from there. And it might be that you want to teach the EWTS certifications or workshops and things. For me, it wasn't that. For me, it was, and it's funny because when I spoke with Phil, he even said, I don't think you should lean on, let's teach EWTS. You should lean on your own thing. And at the time I was building the core, I didn't know this. I didn't know this would be the core of my coaching platform and community, but I was building a method called the Profitable Persuasion Method. And that Profitable Persuasion Method is a 3-pillar method that teaches people how to listen different, focus different, connect different, just really do things from a very human perspective, but in a way that most humans never see, never think about. That became the root of Shift Immersive Coaching. It became the core essence of what Shift Immersive Coaching is all about, and it took off. So
what was the timing? You did the Exactly What to Say training.
Yeah.
And then from there you do like workshops with people. And then at what stage was the coaching? What's the timing of all this?
So this is probably about 8 or 9 months after certification, I would say, somewhere like that. And it's cool how this worked out. I never planned on starting a coaching company. Phil moved his base of operations from
the other
Manhattan,
Phil, not
the other Phil, not me.
You're not talking third person.
No, I'm not. Phil Jones moved his base of operations to upstate New York, and he was in Manhattan. He moved to Hudson. And one day we're talking, he's, man, you should come out to Hudson, check out the new office, the studio, blah, blah, blah. We can shoot a podcast. So I'm like, no problem. This is a train ride. This is not a big deal. I'm in. I get there in the morning. Okay. It was like, 4, 5, 6 hours that I'm there with him. We shot an 11-minute podcast at the end of our time together because we forgot to shoot a podcast. That's how because it just started with, hey man, so what's going on? How did you have so much success in real estate when you started? Similar to what you asked me. And then he just keeps asking questions, and it builds out to this thing. And then let's go to the whiteboard, and boom, he's whiteboarding it. And then he's like, you should teach people this. What And then I said, well, that's a good idea, because everything I did, it was like, this is why I did it. And I had systems and everything. Kim, I got to tell you something. We build this 90-day program. This is it. And it's like, all right, I'm going to take 90-day program and go. And then he says, all right, well, if it's 90 days, then you're probably doing it quarterly, and Q4 starts in 11 days. You got 11 days to launch.
Oh.
I was like, whoa, wait a minute. What? So
I'll wait till Q1.
Yeah, on the train ride home, I am marketing the 90-day shift. I'm literally marketing on the train ride home. I was on social. I was everywhere. I was in the back office groups. Everywhere I could, I'm putting this out. A few hundred people register for this thing. Okay.
Wow.
And now I'm like, this is great, but I got to build it. Like, I got to take what we just talked about and make it a program now. Now, we ended up, by the way, I say before I left, we did shoot an 11-minute podcast and I almost missed my train home, but we did get the podcast done. But I ran the program. It was great. It hit differently. It was a very different approach to coaching. People really loved it. And then I did it again. 90 days later, I ran another one. People loved it. And I said, all right, this is working. Let's make this real. And then I really poured in. I put money in, I put time in, I brought other people in that could help build out. Now we have Shift Immersive Coaching is the company. We have a Shift Vault that all coaching is done out of. We have different segments of private coaching and different levels of coaching, because I'll tell you one thing, and you are going to be like, yeah, that makes so much sense. I hope you do now that I said that.
I'll say it either way.
No. But one thing I realized about coaching is a lot of people need it, if not everyone, but few people can afford it. Mm-hmm. There was just this massive delta of agents that just couldn't afford coaching. And if they could, they would do it. They would not fight. They would not argue. They want coaching. They just don't have the money. So I said, let's capture that. Let's offer the highest quality of coaching we possibly can and never think about the money. Let's just make it about them. So I have a shift level of coaching. And at the shift level, you get so darn much. And then boom, you have a shift pro level. And that's not about the higher cost. It's about who's a part of it. Because you cannot be an agent for 3 months and join shift pro, right? But Phil, don't you want people to pay more?
Like your 3-year thing.
Exactly. Because how would you feel? Like, you're out here, you're killing the game, you're doing well, you got a team, or maybe you're a broker, or maybe you started your own office. And then we have in your coaching sessions, you're also hearing from people that are like, I just got my license on Thursday. No, that's not fair. That should be a shift level member.
In high school, there's a reason to have junior varsity and varsity.
Precisely. You got to work your way up. And then I have an inner circle set level and whatever. But the idea for me was, how can I give people my brain at scale through systems and everything else? And I spent 8.5 months building out a GPT that only my coaching community have access to. So if they ever need me, they can literally go into the GPT and it's talking to me. There's an Ask Phil section where, Kim, you can literally say, I'm going through this right now. You go into Ask Phil, you write it out, you talk a voice note, or you leave a video, and I will personally go through and build you a system to suit what you're dealing with right away. Done.
That's impressive.
We have coaching calls or live coaching like this. There's so much. I could talk about this forever because I love it. I love it.
That's so cool.
And it's
so is the program like such that if somebody's at the base level, is it a group coaching or more like a course program, or how does it work?
So when you start, you have group coaching, okay? But you also have a 90-day shift launch. And that, over the course of that 90-day launch, it's videos. Every day you're watching me and I'm talking, and we're covering everything from creating the ultimate schedule to how to build on social. It's 3 weeks of just how to do social media right. Okay.
But you're not live. This is something that's been recorded
This is recorded in course style, right? But it all lives in the vault. Now, let's say you're doing day 19, okay? And you're like, I don't get this part. I have a question. So you go in the vault and you say, I have a question. Now you're coaching with me just like this one-on-one. Now I'm in the vault and we're live in the vault. Other people can watch this happen, but you and I are private coaching, and that's it. Boom. Like, I have somebody who, they're at the pro level. He's a player. He does incredibly well. And we're on a pro coaching call, and he asked this question about taking over his market and talks to me about why it might be a little hard and blah, blah, blah. So I create a system for him right there on the call. The next day he is implemented. He now has video, a video he created as part of the system. So guess what? He posts the video and he says, hey, Phil, can you tell me what you think about this? So I go back in, I say, man, I love the video, but let me ask you, you want to do one better? He's like, what? I said, why don't we have a live shift session where we break down every aspect of this video and how to level it up, and we let everyone watch, so when they do it, they don't have to go through the same mistakes. They have a full system right there. So we're doing that next week.
Because his problem's a lot of other people's problem too. So if you
there's not many problems in this game, right? It's just about figuring out how to solve them. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So what percentage, are you still in production?
I am.
Okay. Yeah. So how do you toggle between the time of both and still stay present for your life and your kids and all that?
Yeah. So you remember I just said a moment ago, you have that 90-day shift launch, and we cover everything from creating the ultimate schedule. I live it. I don't just teach it. I live it. So I have the ultimate schedule. I don't believe in time blocking. I believe in buckets. Remember, part of what I think a lot of our problems are, and sometimes this is in business, sometimes it's not. I think women, moms, have the biggest issue with this because they're treated so darn unfairly when it comes to themselves, especially once they become a mom. What we typically do is we say, I have to be everywhere. So we put ourselves last. And I want to do for the kids. I want to do for work. I want to do for my spouse. I want. Think about it like this. If you're going to create a schedule, why don't we not time block? And why don't we just build buckets? What do you do with buckets? You fill them up. What happens when they're full? They overflow. If it overflows, everything gets messy. We don't overflow our buckets. We create buckets based on our lives, and we fill it every day with things that have to get done, whether they're meetings, appointments, tasks, time with family and friends, personal time. But here's the beauty of it. When a bucket is full, you did so much to fill that bucket. There is nothing to feel guilty about when now you're in your next bucket, which is family time. Someone said to me this morning, again, like, how do you not answer a call? What do you mean? How is that phone call more important than your 3-year-old? That's absurd to think about. They're not more important. Then why do people do it? I would argue it's either a desire to make money or a fear of losing out on a client, which is a fear of losing money. If my client doesn't realize that at 8:15 p.m. it's dinner time, then that ain't the client I want. Money's just not that darn important. It's not.
Right. It's hard for people to get to the point where they can say next on a potential client. I think that I remember that first few years where you're like panicked, but now I'm like, I always say real estate's kind of like dating. It's like the chemistry has to be there for the right connection. But on top of it, if that particular person is causing you more stress than value, I have many times referred out a client to somebody else. I'll let them take the problem on. I'm not saying that I'm not wanting to work with them, but if we're not, it's like a bad boyfriend. If we're not the right fit, we're not the right fit. But
why are we fighting it?
Still get something from it by referring to somebody that is maybe more commission hungry than I am right now, because I know that there's another better connection, a better date around the corner than sticking with the wrong one.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And I know someone's going to watch this and they're going to say, yeah, but you're saying that because you're already doing well. And no, I'm saying that because that's how I started.
And I think the sooner a person can do that out of the gate, like if that's one lesson a new agent can learn, is say next, build a referral partnership with somebody, say next, get 25, 30% from that. But your doors will be open to better opportunities and a better like-minded connection rather than you spending all your time on the bad boyfriend.
And think about the time and energy you spend that you missed out on the good ones. Right? Like,
that's my point. That's what my mom used to say when I dated the ugly duckling. She's no, Kim, move on. The better ones around the corner.
On the person that's looking for you. Yeah. I'm with you.
I love all that you're doing. I think that your coaching perspective is so good and it's really exciting, I'm sure. How long have you had that, or when did you launch it?
So the beginning of the year, Q4 last year, we launched the unofficial version.
That's when you were on the train.
Yes. Okay. May of this year, we had an event called Shift 2025. It was a live in-person event. and we oversold that. And we officially launched Shift Immersive Coaching in May of 2025, May of this year.
Congrats. That's awesome.
So yeah. Yeah. And it's
now, when you hang out with the other Phil, do you ever feel like he is using his using his skill set on you? Like, I feel like sometimes on really good salespeople, I'm like, oh shoot, I know what they're doing and I'm falling for it.
So here's the answer to that. And that's a great darn question. If he wasn't, why would I be following him?
Good point.
Yeah. If he didn't
like,
live
I feel like when he had you
one-on-one
with the whiteboarding, you're like, oh shoot, I'm falling into his little trap. But it's a good trap. I'm not saying it's bad.
No, I know. It's like, I want the people that I follow, I want them to be, we have 3 core values in every business that I have. It's authenticity, empathy, and vulnerability. It's literally outside of my studio here. It's on the wall. Authenticity, empathy, and vulnerability. If you're truly authentic, then you didn't create a system. You just showed the world how you currently live. So I want you to be using that all the time. I want you to show me that it works even on me, because it's not manipulation. Oftentimes people think, yeah, you're being manipulated. But let me ask you a question. If my daughter were running across the street to get the basketball and a truck was barreling down the road and you saw her and said, oh my goodness, that young girl's going to get hit by a truck, you'd probably yell, stop. Did you just manipulate her or save her?
Think about like your experience with him. I'm mostly joking when I said that, but it's like how I sometimes get in my head. But I was just thinking how amazing that he was able to whiteboard the fact that you're missing out on one of your true gifts that you have to give to others. And now here you go. And how cool is that? Because all of us have gifts that we can give at a higher level in life or in this industry or whatever. But yet we're always like, yeah, not me. That's for that big coaching system, or not me because that's for, and it's interesting because if I actually pause and think, okay, I've been in the industry for 20 years. I actually have a lot that I know and I can gift to others. And so I'm finding that side of myself of like, actually, I've been coached, but I know what my personality could use. So it's like, I think we all have that gift within us that we're afraid to scale to that next level for whatever imposter syndrome or the world tells us we're not of that. But I think what a gift that you had that the other Phil taught you that you can.
Yeah, or more so that you should. Because I've owned coaching companies. Just, it's not so much, oh, hey, you have this ability you aren't seeing. It's more like, hey, why aren't you giving this away? Why aren't you blessing other people with this? And sometimes, Kimberly, sometimes it's that we're just too busy. Sometimes we don't want to. Sometimes we're overwhelmed and don't take the time to notice. But in the end, having great people in our lives that aren't saying, oh, maybe you shouldn't because you could fail, but instead saying, why don't you? Because you could fail.
You could change a life. Yeah.
Yeah. But you
might fail. Yeah. You might fail along the way, but if you touch one person, then you.
Yeah. But also you could fail. That's a good thing.
Good point. Good point.
Like I want to do things and fail at them. How many things I failed at in order to get to a point where I could be like, yeah, I just sold my company and I retired at 35. You can't do that without massive failure attached to it. Right. So I'm looking every day for opportunities to say, I screwed that up, while knowing I gave it 100% of who I am and all my knowledge and effort. And you know what? For that thing, I just wasn't good enough. So I learned I can do this and this and level up. Now I'm going to go on a studying rampage to level that up. And then after I study it, I'm going to go test it out. But I'm not going to test it on clients. I'm going to test it in role play. And then after I role play, I'm going to go test it at the grocery store with random people. And then, so like, I think so many people are looking for, how do I get really great at something? And I'm like, the only way to get great at something is to not be great first. So why am I hiding from not being great? Let's just go not be great.
It's like one of my favorites, Sarah Blakely, who invented Spanx, and now my new favorite shoe is Sneaks, which you might need to tell your wife about. But anyway, she speaks about the fact that at the dinner table growing up, her dad always asked her and her brother, what did you fail at today? And Spanx was sold for over $1 billion. So she was not afraid to fail. Yeah. And I think what a great lesson as a parent. If I had to do over again, I might have done this better, but to ask your kids, how did you fail today? What was really bad today and what did you learn from it? And
Yeah.
tomorrow, instead of like, how great was your day? It's what did you try and it horribly, miserably failed and you're
Crash and burn.
embarrassed? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's huge. And you and I could ask each other that every day too at the end of the day. And it's still
Yeah.
good because if you're not failing, you're not trying. If things don't come hard, then they're easy. And then you're not
Yeah.
going to that next level. And I think that it doesn't matter your age to get to a next level, I think is important. It's like
Yeah.
my parents are 87 and 88 and they still work out with a personal trainer and their bodies may hurt, but like they're leveling up at their age still. And
Yep.
I think that's amazing. And so you're a huge inspiration and I can't wait to share all of this. And I'm so proud of all the progress you've made. I don't know you well enough to be proud, but I still get proud of people I don't know even. It's impressive. I feel proud about people that do things, don't just talk.
Yeah.
And
because why not? Let's just go do things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your kids have to be super impressed too. And I'm sure that
God willing, I want them to
day to day, they obviously 16, 17 can be the harder ages. I don't care how great we are, but
we're still mom and dad, and they're still going to be annoyed by us sometimes.
Oh, all the time. Until all of a sudden they're like grown. They're, holy cow, you're pretty amazing.
Oh yeah. Wait, that made sense. Now that I go back and think about it, that's why you said it. So
again, so happy to talk to you. And you are working in one of the more beautiful towns that I've ever been to.
Thanks. I love Annapolis. Yeah.
My nephew graduated from Naval Academy, so
it's right down the road here.
I know.
Yeah,
Did you ever go to? Have you ever gone to their Halloween performance? No. You have to.
Guess what? Halloween's right around the corner. I can.
You have to. It's so stunningly amazing. It's in the beautiful church on the grounds, and holy cow, they put on a full blown. It's so good. It's so good. Because it's like the rafters of the church. And so they'll do Phantom of the Opera songs.
Oh, and you're kidding me.
Oh, the talent is unbelievable. And then they ended up with a beautiful like Americana with the flags. God bless America. But they make the whole church look a little bit tombey. Like it's of course they're not going to do anything halfway. It's so good. And the talent is so good. Wow. I mean, like I would fly back there just for that. I think I went to it twice over the years that he was there. It's so good.
That's awesome.
It's so cool. It's a good energy over there.
Yeah. And I'm on the water all the time. So
it's beautiful. Yeah, my other nephew was married there. He married a girl from Annapolis. So their wedding was at the beautiful yacht club right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, it's so great. It's beautiful.
Small world. Yeah.
Phil, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to Rewriting Real Estate. If today's episode challenged your thinking or gave you a strategy worth trying, share it. The right move at the right time can change everything. Subscribe and listen in next week for more insight, more momentum, and more ways to grow your business your way.